Welcome to the deep dive. This is where we take materials you're curious about, and, well, we dig in to pull out the key insights for you. Efficiently, engagingly.
And today we're looking at generative AI, specifically the strategic advantages it could bring to a company called Hadler Companies.
Right. Hadler Companies, they're a long-standing commercial real estate firm, family-owned, based here in California.
Yeah, been around since 1947.
Yeah.
And they manage a pretty significant retail portfolio, about, what, 1.8 million square feet?
That's the one. And for you listening, especially if you value, getting up to speed quickly without being totally swamped, our goal today is to really shine a light on how Gen AI can help a firm just like Hadler.
We're talking about making their day-to-day smoother, boosting profitability.
And sharpening that competitive edge, especially in the retail space they focus on.
Exactly. And this isn't just theoretical stuff. The report we're diving into really makes it clear. Generative AI is becoming a fundamental shift in commercial real estate.
A game changer, basically.
You could say that. I mean, look at the numbers. A recent Deloitte survey found over 72% of real estate owners, investors worldwide,
Yeah.
they're already putting money into AI solutions.
72%. Wow, so it's happening now.
It's happening now. It's an active transformation. Big players are already moving. You've got firms like JLL, CEPRE. They've launched their own AI platforms.
Tailored to their needs, I assume.
Precisely. So our mission today, our deep dive, is really about understanding how Hadler Companies can leverage similar tech. Not just to keep pace, but maybe even get ahead.
Okay, let's dig in then. First off, what is generative AI, really? And why is it so relevant for commercial real estate, especially for a firm like Hadler?
Okay, so at its core, generative AI systems, they create new content. That could be text, images, even data insights. And they do it by learning from existing data.
So it's different from, say, predictive analytics.
Totally different. Predictive tools forecast what might happen based on the past. Generative AI, though, it can actually write a narrative. It can synthesize info from different places into something new.
And understand natural language, like you're talking to it.
Exactly. It can respond in a very human-like way. Think of it like an AI learning art by studying millions of paintings.
Okay.
And then it can create its own original piece.
Ah, I see. So it's not just analyzing, it's building something new based on what it learned.
Precisely. And in a field like commercial real estate, which is just swimming in data, leases, market reports, tenant info,
Yeah.
the potential impact is just huge.
Right. All that paperwork, all those reports.
Gen AI offers the chance to automate tasks that used to take up so much human time and, frankly, expertise. The report calls this a real turning point for CRE.
And there was a dollar figure mentioned.
Yeah, McKinsey estimates the potential value Gen AI could unlock somewhere between $110 billion and $180 billion.
Yeah.
Just for the real estate industry.
Whoa, that's a massive number. It definitely gets your attention.
It should.
So are we actually seeing companies use this now in the real world?
Oh, absolutely. The report gives some great examples. JLL, for instance, they launched something called JLL GPT.
GPT, like the models we hear about.
Exactly. A large language model trained on tons of text data so it gets language. JLL's version is tailored specifically for commercial real estate.
And their whole team uses it.
Over 103,000 employees.
Yeah.
For things like analyzing leases fast, querying their property portfolio.
Like asking it questions about their buildings.
Basically, yes.
Yeah.
And importantly, it's trained on their own internal data plus external data, but they stress it follows strict privacy rules.
Okay, so it's like giving everyone on the team a super smart assistant who knows the business inside out.
That's a good way to put it. Then you've got CBRE. They have Ellis AI.
Ellis AI.
Yeah, it's what they call a multi-model system. So it can handle different kinds of data, text, numbers, it gives more rounded insights.
And they claim it uses the biggest data set in the industry.
That's what they say. And the efficiency gains they're reporting are, well, pretty staggering. Some complex tasks,
Yeah.
like digging through market data, abstracting info from long contracts, stuff that took weeks, now done in minutes.
Weeks down to minutes? That fundamentally changes how fast you can work.
It really does. And it's not just the big real estate firms building their own stuff. You've got major consultancies like Deloitte, EY. They're all pushing.
What do they say?
Deloitte talks about extending automation into creative areas, summarizing leases, even drafting contracts.
Drafting contracts, wow.
And EY highlights how it can help with talent shortages, managing costs, meeting investor demands for info. even creating totally new business models in real estate.
So it seems like a pretty broad agreement across the board. This is a big deal.
A very big deal.
What about the other major players? Are like Cushman and Wakefield or Colliers doing anything?
Yep, the report says they're actively exploring and rolling out AI-enhanced tools too, improving research, client service.
And are the early adopters actually seeing benefits, real results?
They are.
Really?
McKinsey's reporting that some firms have seen over a 10% jump in their net operating income, NOI.
Over 10% OI increase. Okay, for our listeners, NOI, net operating income, that's a really key measure of how profitable a property is. A 10% boost is huge.
It's massive. And the implication for a company like Hadler Companies is pretty clear, right?
They can't afford to fall behind.
Exactly. Keeping up with the service levels, the speed, the analytics, it's becoming essential. The good news is Hadler's history, their deep retail knowledge, all the data they have.
They're actually in a good spot to use this stuff effectively.
I think so. They can really tailor it to their specific niche in retail.
Okay, so we get the picture. Gen AI is big, it's relevant, it's happening now. Let's drill down into Hadler Companies specifically. The report outlines 5 key areas, 5 use cases, right? Focusing on their retail side.
That's right. 5 high-impact areas.
Let's take the first one. AI, lease abstraction, and portfolio analytics. What's the pain point this is trying to solve?
Okay, the core problem is reviewing leases. Retail leases are complex, right?
Definitely. Lots of clauses, details.
Exactly. Rent schedules, dates, co-tenancy clauses, percentage rent. It's a lot. And manually pulling out all that key info from potentially hundreds of leases, it takes ages.
And you could miss things, I imagine, make mistakes.
For sure, it's time-consuming and error-prone. Plus, it makes it really hard to get a big-picture view of your whole portfolio. Like, what are our exposures? Where are the risks?
Right. Trying to figure out, say, all the leases expiring next year with a specific clause. Manually, that sounds like a nightmare.
Total nightmare. So the AI solution proposed is what they call a lease co-pilot.
A co-pilot for leases.
Yeah. Basically, a Gen AI tool trained specifically on Hadler's own lease documents.
Yeah.
It could automatically summarize them, pull out the key terms, highlight important dates
And answer questions.
in natural language.
Yeah.
You could ask it, show me all leases with a co-tenancy clause, or list expirations in the next 18 months for properties with occupancy under 90%.
Wow. Okay.
And it could aggregate portfolio data, too, give you instant metrics, all through a secure interface, of course.
That sounds incredibly useful, like
Yeah.
unlocking all the data trapped in those documents. What are the expected benefits for Adler?
Well, speed is a huge one. Lease review goes from hours, potentially down to seconds.
Seconds.
That frees up their legal and leasing teams for more strategic work, right?
Right.
Negotiation, deals.
Makes sense.
Second, fewer errors. Less risk of overlooking a critical clause. That minimizes legal and financial exposure.
Right. Catching those details matters.
And maybe most importantly, it makes portfolio analytics way easier. Management gets instant insights. They can be more proactive.
Proactive, like seeing lease expirations way ahead of time.
Exactly. Gives them a head start on renewals or finding new tenants. McKinsey actually noted this ability of Gen AI to scan and summarize leases quickly, even making tables of key terms.
So for Hadler, it's efficiency, better decisions, leading to better financial performance.
Absolutely. Better lease management, better tenant retention. That could definitely boost NOI. Missing a renewal or a revenue share clause hits the bottom line. This AI acts like a safety net.
Minimizes manual work, cuts risk, boosts insight.
Got it. Okay, use case number 2. Tenant support virtual assistant. What's the problem here?
This one's about communication. Think about a property management team for retail centers. They get tons of routine calls and emails, right?
Maintenance requests, lease questions.
All sorts, even potential tenants asking basic questions. Handling all that takes up a lot of the property manager's time.
And delays can happen, especially after hours.
For sure. And inconsistent response times. That can really impact tenant satisfaction. Plus, just keeping track of all those issues across multiple properties is complex.
So it's about efficiency for the team, but also keeping tenants happy. A double win.
That's the goal. The AI solution here is a 24/7 virtual assistant. A chatbot, maybe a voice assistant too.
Trained on Hadler's specific info?
Exactly. Property details, FAQs about leases, standard procedures. Tenants could interact via website, app, maybe even text.
And it handles common requests automatically. Yeah. Tenant reports a leaky faucet, AI logs it, maybe generates a work order, notifies maintenance. Tenant asks when rent is due. AI gives the answer instantly.
What about complex stuff?
It would know when to escalate. If it's something tricky or urgent, it loops in a human property manager. It acts as a smart first point of contact, a filter.
Okay, that could definitely take a load off the property managers. What are the expected benefits?
Main thing is faster response times. Many simple issues get resolved instantly. That should really improve tenant satisfaction, maybe even retention.
And being 24/7 is big for retail tenants, right? They often work odd hours.
Huge advantage. They get help whenever they need it. Boosts Hadler's reputation as responsive. And by automating routine stuff, the human team gets freed up.
To focus on more complex problems, tenant relationships.
Exactly. High-value tasks. McKinsey mentioned copilots handling simple maintenance requests. EY notes tenant chatbots are becoming common for things like rent inquiries.
So it means fewer dropped balls, better service.
More consistency, and potentially better loyalty. Plus, the AI logs everything.
Ah, so you get data on common issues.
Right. Hadler can see patterns across their properties, identify systemic problems, and fix them. So yeah, big boost for efficiency and the tenant experience.
All right, use case 3, AI-driven marketing and leasing automation. What are the typical challenges Hadler faces here?
Marketing vacant retail space.
Mm-hmm.
It's often a very manual, time-intensive process. Creating brochures, website listings, email blasts,
It takes effort, creativity.
writing property descriptions, highlighting demographics.
Right, and tailoring it for different locations, different types of retailers. That's a lot of work, especially across 1.8 million square feet.
Keeping it fresh, engaging.
Yep. And then responding quickly to inquiries from potential tenants. They want info now. Delays in marketing or responding. That means longer vacancies.
Which hits revenue directly.
Exactly. So the goal is speed up the whole cycle, improve the quality and personalization of marketing, and fill spaces faster.
How does AI help? Okay, the idea is to use Gen AI to automate and boost content creation. An AI tool could write engaging property descriptions, flyers, based on locations, size, tenant mix.
The report had examples of AI-generated text.
It did. And the AI could even adjust the tone for, say, a boutique versus a national chain. It could go beyond text, too.
Like images.
Yeah, AI image models could create concept visuals, mock-ups of a storefront with a prospect's branding. Helps them see the potential.
That's pretty cool.
And then there's an AI leasing assistant. It could handle those initial inquiries instantly, send summaries, floor plans, answer FAQs.
So prospects get info right away.
Right. It could even scan news for expanding retailers and draft personalized outreach emails about relevant spaces in Hadler's portfolio.
So the AI is like a virtual copywriter and a leasing coordinator.
Pretty much.
What are the payoffs Hadler could expect?
Well, a much faster marketing cycle, for starters. Getting listings out in minutes, not days. That shrinks vacancy time.
Better quality marketing, too. More consistent.
Likely. Attracts more prospects. And personalization at scale becomes possible. Tailoring pitches without massive manual effort.
And the instant responses help, too.
Definitely. Prospects get info immediately. Leasing team focuses on hot leads and closing deals. EY really emphasized Gen AI boosting marketing and leasing, from creation to acquisition.
So faster lease up means more revenue, lower marketing costs.
And it boosts their brand image. Looks tech-forward, innovative. Overall, it drives top-line growth and saves costs. More efficient, more effective leasing.
Okay, moving to number 4, portfolio strategy and site selection agent. What are the limitations Hadler might face in making big strategic calls now?
The big challenge is often the time it takes to analyze all the data needed for major decisions, like buying a new property or doing a big redevelopment.
Lots of factors to consider. Demographics, traffic, competitors.
Economic trends, your own portfolio's performance. It's a ton of info. Analysts often pull together lots of separate reports, and the insights can be scattered.
Hard to connect the dots sometimes.
Especially in retail. Predicting which centers will thrive versus struggle. It's complex. E-commerce impact, population shifts.
So finding good investments or spotting problems early is key.
Absolutely critical.
Yeah.
But the traditional way of gathering and synthesizing all that data, it's slow. You might miss opportunities or react too late to problems.
So the goal is to be more proactive, spot things earlier.
Exactly. Shift from reactive to proactive analysis. The AI solution here is described as a generative AI investment analyst.
An AI analyst.
Yeah. Trained on Hadler's internal data performance, tenant sales, foot traffic, lease terms, plus external market data, census info, retail trends, location data, even social media sentiment.
And you can just ask it questions.
In plain English, like the report examples, what are the top 3 emerging retail submarkets in SoCal for a new community center? Or which of our current centers has the most potential if we add more food tenants?
And the AI figures it out.
It sifts through all that structured and unstructured data to generate a comprehensive answer. McKinsey had a similar example. An investor asking which malls are most likely to thrive,
And the AI analyzes internal data, external trends.
and gives a prioritized ranking. Hadler's AI could do that, or maybe flag potential acquisitions meeting certain criteria, or even warn about existing centers with declining traffic.
Could it write reports too?
Yeah, generate narrative reports, summarizing findings, making recommendations. Basically, an AI research analyst delivering insights super fast.
What's the advantage of having that capability?
Faster, smarter decisions on new investments, on managing current assets. Leadership gets insights quicker, spots opportunities or risks sooner.
That gives them a competitive edge.
Big time. They can jump on good deals faster or address problems before they escalate. And the AI might find non-obvious correlations in the data that humans miss.
So it helps grow revenue through better investments and optimize the portfolio by fixing weaker spots.
That's the idea. And it cuts down the risk of missing time-sensitive deals or acting on incomplete info. McKinsey stressed getting synthesized answers fast leads to better investment decisions.
So Hadler gets analytical power, maybe rivaling bigger firms focused on their retail niche?
Exactly. Data-validated strategic moves made quickly.
Okay, final use case, number 5, investor relations and reporting automation. What are the typical headaches here for a firm like Hadler?
Communicating with investors, lenders, financial partners, it's crucial, but it takes a lot of work.
Preparing those quarterly reports, investor updates.
Performance summaries.
Yeah.
It's really time-consuming.
Oh.
Gathering all the KPIs, occupancy, rent collections, CapEx projects, market context, and then writing a clear, compelling story.
That often falls on senior people, right? It takes time away from strategy.
Often, yes. Plus, investors can have very specific, detailed questions. Responding quickly and accurately takes effort, especially for a lean team.
And inconsistency or delays can hurt confidence.
Definitely. It can impact future fundraising. It might be tough for Hadler to match the slick, frequent reporting of bigger, more resource firms.
So the goal is more efficient, higher quality investor comms, consistent, timely, accurate.
Precisely. The AI solution involves using Gen AI to automate and personalize this. First, an AI connected to Hadler's data could draft investor reports very quickly.
Like generate the text.
Yeah. The report had an example of the natural language commentary AI could produce, plus automatically create charts and graphs. And you could tailor the reports for different investor types easily.
Okay. What else?
Second, an intelligent investor Q&A chatbot on their secure portal
So investors can ask questions anytime.
and get immediate, accurate answers pulled from approved data. With security checks, of course, so nothing sensitive gets out inadvertently.
And consultancies see value here too.
Yeah, EY mentioned Gen AI streamlining investor materials and handling inquiries via chatbots. Makes investor relations more responsive, more effective.
What are the main benefits for Hadler in doing this?
Big one is better investor satisfaction and trust. More frequent, transparent, customized communication does that.
Faster reporting means more timely updates.
Much faster, maybe even real-time dashboards or more frequent, quick updates. That makes Hadler look sophisticated, transparent, trustworthy. It's a differentiator.
And it saves internal time too.
A lot. Frees up staff for direct relationship building. The quality and consistency of reports might improve too. AI ensures data points aren't missed, maybe flags anomalies.
And the chatbot helps with quick answers, building confidence.
Exactly. It also reduces risk, fewer human errors in reporting data or narratives. The report also mentioned that AI investments often yield high ROI, and better investor relations helps with raising capital on good terms.
So summing up, it helps Hadler tell their story better, strengthens relationships with capital partners.
More effectively, more efficiently. Builds those crucial bridges to the money that fuels their growth.
Okay, those 5 use cases paint a really compelling picture for Hadler. Modernizing, enhancing the business. The report then kind of summarizes the overall expected impact, right?
Yeah, pulls it all together.
Can you give us the highlights?
Sure. Operationally, they expect streamlined processes, less manual work, lower costs, better productivity overall.
Makes sense. What about growth?
Revenue growth, yeah.
Right.
Better leasing outcomes from smarter marketing, maybe new AI-powered services for tenants, and better tenant retention because of improved communication.
That idea that better service via AI leads to more loyalty.
Exactly. Then there's improved decision-making, richer insights, faster, smarter strategic choices.
Competitive advantage.
Definitely. Early adoption gives them an innovative reputation, attracts tenants, investors, creates what the report calls strategic distance from rivals.
And finally, risk reduction.
Yep. Spotting issues earlier, fewer human errors, better scenario planning, maybe even better data security. The AI acts like a safety net and a watchdog.
And quantitatively, that 10% OI figure comes up again.
Yeah, referencing industry research, suggesting AI adopters see NOI gains over 10%. So overall, AI adoption makes Hadler more resilient, better able to grab opportunities in retail real estate.
The benefits sound comprehensive, potentially transformative for Hadler's future, but how does a company like this actually do it? It's a big shift. The report laid out a roadmap, didn't it?
It did. A structured step-by-step plan. First step, absolutely critical. Executive alignment and vision setting.
Getting leadership on board.
Totally. They need to buy in, understand the potential, set clear AI goals tied to business outcomes like reducing vacancy time. Maybe set up an AI steering committee, find an executive champion.
Okay, step 1, leadership buy-in. What's next?
Step 2, use case selection and quick pilot projects. Prioritize the high-impact, feasible stuff like the 5 we discussed. Pick 1 or 2 for pilots.
Like lease summarization for one region or a chatbot at a few properties.
Exactly. Small scale first. Map the process, figure out the data needed, define how you'll measure success, time saved, response time improved. These pilots prove the value, teach you lessons early.
Show value, learn quickly, makes sense. Step 3.
Step 3 is laying the foundation. Data preparation and technology foundation. This is huge. Cleaning up existing data leases, property info, building a solid data platform.
Deciding on the tech approach. Buy, build, integrate.
Right. Existing apps, APIs, open source, in-house. And setting up secure, scalable cloud infrastructure that talks to their current systems. You need that solid tech stack early.
Okay, leadership aligned, pilots chosen, tech foundation built. What follows that?
Next step number 4 is crucial. Governance, risk, and ethical AI framework.
The guardrails.
Exactly. Clear policies on using data, privacy, compliance, guidelines on AI's decision-making power, what can it do, what needs a human. A responsible AI policy, accuracy, bias, transparency, review procedures, oversight roles.
Aligning with best practices, like from EY.
Very important. Then step 5 is training and change management. This is about the people.
Getting the team ready.
Upskilling the workforce to use the new tools. Communicating AI as an assistant, not a replacement. Finding internal AI champions. Maybe adjusting hiring or partnering for new skills. It's about fostering innovation, making people comfortable.
Right, it's tech and people. What are the last couple of steps?
Okay, step 6 is scale up and integrate. Pilots worked? Great. Now roll out the proven solutions across the company. Embed them into core workflows.
Keep learning and adjusting.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Maintain an agile approach. Gather feedback. Refine the models. Measure against those KPIs. And maybe start looking at new use cases.
And the final step is ongoing.
Step 7, ongoing monitoring and improvement. Continuously watch how the systems perform. Use dashboards, get feedback, update the models with new data, stay current with AI advancements. It's not a one-and-done thing.
Revisit the roadmap regularly.
Exactly. The report stresses best practices. Focus scope, data quality, exec sponsorship, quick wins, innovation culture. Follow that structured path, and Hadler's chances of real lasting improvement are much higher.
Sounds like a solid, practical plan. Now, the report also mentioned OMA's capabilities, the consulting firm. How might they help Hadler with all this?
Right. Briefly, OMA is positioned as a consulting firm with expertise right at that intersection, AI and real estate.
So they understand both sides.
Exactly. Their capabilities match what Hadler would need. Designing and building AI agents, like those chatbots, data engineering, integration, getting data out of leases, for example.
Real estate knowledge, too.
Deep domain expertise, yeah. Asset management, analytics, making sure the AI actually solves real estate problems. They also do investor engagement solutions, and crucially, project management and change enablement.
Helping manage the whole transition.
Right. OMA emphasizes tailoring support to Hadler's specific situation, acting as a long-term partner through the transformation.
Okay, so they bring the specialized AI skills, the industry know-how Hadler might lack internally, guiding them through the roadmap.
That's the idea. The AI expertise combined with the real estate context to help Hadler navigate the shift successfully.
Well, this has been incredibly insightful, a real deep dive into how GenAI could reshape things for Hadler Companies. As we wrap up, what's the single most important takeaway for our listener?
I think the core message is really clear. Generative AI isn't just hype. It's a significant, very real opportunity for a firm like Hadler Companies to, well, modernize their operations fundamentally.
Improve efficiency across the board.
Achieve substantial efficiency gains, yeah. And ultimately, build a stronger, more sustainable competitive edge in their market, that retail real estate space.
And just to recap the potential wins: operational efficiency, new ways to grow revenue, happier tenants who stick around longer.
Better, data-driven, strategic decisions, standing out from the competition through innovation.
And even reducing certain kinds of risks.
Exactly. And maybe, just as we finish, a final thought to leave you with, kind of building on the report's conclusion. Hadler's philosophy has deep roots. Under all is the land, the enduring value of real estate.
Right, the traditional foundation.
Consider how that foundation, that tradition, can be seriously boosted, maybe even future-proofed, by strategically weaving in these powerful new technologies like Gen AI.
Hmm.
And maybe think broader, too. What about other industries built on tangible assets, long-standing practices? What transformations might they see if they embrace similar tech shifts?
That's a really powerful point, how even the most established fields can be fundamentally changed. We hope you, our listener, will think about the use cases we discussed, maybe see parallels in your own world. Hopefully this deep dive sparks some of those aha moments. Thanks for joining us today.